Hello, fellow Frigidarians. How are all you good salesmen and dealers today? I hope that you're as tickled about the new 1954 refrigerators and ranges and other fine products as I am. Aren't they wonderful? You know, I've always wanted a chance to talk as one salesman to another in just plain everyday words. I sometimes wonder how many of us, I mean you and me, who sell things for a living, how many of us realize what a real business selling is? There isn't another profession in this world where you're so free to write your own ticket, where you can be just what you want to be, go as far as you like, set your own speed on how fast you get there. Actually now, don't you get a big kick out of selling for an outfit like Frigidaire? You're practically in business for yourself. Did you ever think of this? You know who your real boss is? The guy that looks back at you out of that mirror every morning, the one that scares you to death. You know, it's a heck of an important job, this business of being a salesman. After all, who stimulates a continual interest in higher standards of living? Who creates a continuous demand for better products? Who arouses desires in folks for finer things that make their living more comfortable and pleasurable? Who stimulates interest and acceptance in every engineering advance that comes off the production lines? You know who. Guys like you and me. The same fellow that's been doing it since this great American nation started, the salesman. The guy who plays a mighty important part in making this nation grow and prosper. Now you've got to know that, and you've got to believe it and take pride in your profession, because yours is a profession the same as mine. There's no difference between you and me at all. We're both salesmen. I talk to a few million people at a time. You talk to one or two. That's the only difference between us. And yours is the harder job, I know that, because your people can talk back to you. But seriously, today our whole economy hinges heavily upon the job you fellas do in getting things sold. Oh, I know. A lot of men lately have forgotten the responsibility that goes along with being a salesman. But don't pay any attention to that. Men like that aren't salesmen, they're peddlers. And there's a vast difference. To be a real Frigidaire salesman, you got to like your job. You got to like people. You got to enjoy talking with them about their problems. We've got to be willing to learn to be specialists. We've got to want to be the best doggone salesman in the outfit. We've got to want it so bad we can taste it. And if we want it that badly, we can accomplish it. But it takes work. It's surprising, very surprising, the number of salesmen who think that they want to get to the top, but they spend all their time and energy in trying to find a shortcut, some easy way. That seems to be the great American pastime these days. More people wear themselves out looking for the easy way, when with about 1/10 the concentrated effort they could get what they really want. There is no easy way. Doggone it, you know that, and I know it. It takes work and drive and persistence. There's no getting around it. It's a tough business. It's a job where you got to put up your dukes when lots of times you feel like letting your hands down. It isn't a job for boys. It's a job for men. But you show me a Frigidaire man who believes in his profession, who has confidence in himself, who has a goal, who knows his product backwards, who gives it his best every time he makes a demonstration, who looks for reasons rather than excuses when he loses a sale. Show me a man who believes he has a responsibility to his customers after the sale is made. A man who's willing to work, and I mean work hard. You show me a man like that, and I'll show you a guy who's going places. And the organization behind us, you and me, Frigidaire. That's a wonderful name, Frigidaire. A mighty important member of the General Motors family. And you've probably heard me say, and I believe this with all my heart, General Motors is the greatest name in American industry. There's only one corporation, you know, that's any bigger, and that's the U.S. government. It's a name you don't have to explain. Frigidaire, you never have to explain that. It's a genetic term to lots of people. You never have to explain that term, Frigidaire. Never do you have to apologize for it. It stands for the best. And you know there's only one way to get a name like that. You know how they got that reputation? By square shooting. Always on the level. You and I have to be the same way. On the level with ourselves and with those with whom we do business. We have to be honest, sincere, aggressive, always in there fighting, always ready to take the lead. You can't beat a combination like that. I don't care whether you're a salesman, a dealer, or an organization. And the way Frigidaire has worked down through the years, continually improving products, bringing out new products, it's an amazing story, you know. Giving everything, doing everything possible to give you fellows who represent Frigidaire the very finest products with the highest dollar value. You can't beat that. Any Frigidaire products, any time, any Frigidaire product is always the best in its line. I know, I got a whole house full of them. I know what they're like. And I know the pleasure and the service and the convenience that my wife and my family get out of them. And I continually get letters from all over the country from people who feel exactly the same way. I got a letter the other day from a woman who raised the devil because she'd had a Frigidaire for 18 years and the darn thing wouldn't give up. It wouldn't break down. And she tried to get her husband to get her a new one. He said, "What for? That's working beautifully." That's the way they do. And those products for 1954, who can top them? Who can even match them? I only hope that you and I can match the quality of those products with the kind of salesmanship that built the acceptance and respect that the names Frigidaire and General Motors enjoy today. The kind of salesmanship that'll make your wife and your kids proud of you. Give you a feeling of pride and accomplishment. Well, it's been awfully nice talking to you fellas. I wish I could have talked to each of you personally, but obviously that's not possible. But let's say you and I go out now and really show them in 1954. For whatever it's worth, I'll be in there plugging with you and for you.